What has changed about investing in the market since you left in 1990? What has changed?
Well, I think there's a lot of this computer-driven things, where people buy stocks for a second and own it for a second. I mean, I think that's a waste of time. I think it's disruptive. On the positive side, information to the public is so much more available today. When a company releases their numbers and they have a call, it's open on the web to everybody.
Right.
All the information. We used to wait for the mail to come to see what Nike's inventories were like. I mean, you find out we get in our library in the first-class mail. So all this information. So the investing for the average person now is much clearer. They know the same thing as I do.
Yeah.
You don't want to invest in a company whose balance sheet is, they got $8 billion in debt and they have no cash and they're losing money. That's a terrible combination. You get all the information now. So information is a lot better than it was, a long time ago.
You still believe in the investment mantra that you were often credited as your mantra, which is invest in what you know.
Yeah, I'm amazed if somebody. Imagine you spent you a long time in your field,
yes,
in my field. Imagine if you were in a mall the last 30 years.
Yes,
you would have seen the Gap. You would have seen Best Buy. You would have seen Circuit City. You would have seen these companies that are crowded doing something better, and they're buying biotechnology stocks or oil companies. It makes no sense to me. If you're in the steel industry, you see it go from awful to better.
Yeah.
Why don't you buy a steel
stock?
We
expect mutual funds to know that stuff. No, obviously.
Well,
if you're managing,
but they're ahead of us.
If you look at Magellan or you look at BlackRock, you think they must have access to the best information in the world.
But they don't have that. They're not in the steel industry. They don't see things get better. The way they don't see the chemical industry turning as soon as the people in the chemical industry do. I mean, you could be in the plastics fields or lithium, whatever it is.
People in the business see it first.
And that they see it first. Or they
but
in a mall.
Go ahead.
In a mall, imagine the companies you've seen, the Dunkin' Donuts. It goes on and on. Walmart, Stop and Shop. These are all companies that really got better. And somebody said, gee, I'm shopping there. But I'm not saying people should, if they want to invest, they ought to do the same kind of research they do when they buy a refrigerator. Right, or they take a trip to Italy. Do some homework. But until you want to invest directly in individual stocks, start a paper portfolio. Say, I'm going to buy these 10 companies. And then write down in like 5 bullets why. What's the reason I bought those? And then keep checking a year later, what happened? Did they really keep growing, or did a competitor come along? Do a paper portfolio. And you can do exactly what I did with a real portfolio and find out, what am I good at? What am I bad at? Am I really good at turnarounds? Am I good at small growth companies? Maybe I pay too high for stocks. You can do this over 4 or 5 years and learn what's your skills, and then specialize in that. I had owned thousands of companies. The average person, all you need is a few in your lifetime.
Yeah.
Make a difference.
When you were running $14 billion,
right?
Did you see in your mind's eye, and let's assume a lot of it was pension fund money or whatever, but did you see individuals, I'm investing for the fireman down the street? Yeah. Did you?
It was almost.
Or was it a game?
It was almost none of it was pension fund money. It was almost all individuals. People.
Right.
It was incredible, that thrill.
Yeah.
I got letters when the market went down to 87. My fund went down like a rock.
Yeah.
People were writing letters to me, cheering me up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No complaints.
Mr. Lynch, you've done well for me.
Yeah, no, hang in there.
I know, hang in there, boy.
We'll be okay. No, it's amazing.
Don't give up now, Peter.
No, it was. I meet these people all the time, at airports, all around. They're still. It was wonderful. It was the greatest thrill of my life. Our children and my wife managing money for other people.
Now we've also seen sort of today the whole business of hedge funds and private equity and shadow stuff. And now they're talking about getting into the mutual fund business. You think that's...
Yep.
What do you think of that?
I mean,
hedge funds getting into mutual funds.
Well, a couple of differences, between a hedge fund and what I did in Magellan.
Right.
I could only buy long. I couldn't short.
So you couldn't sell short, right?
But I couldn't buy
hedge funds
commodities.
Can sell short, obviously.
Right. I couldn't buy commodities. I couldn't short the euro. I mean, they're into a lot, and they do it on leverage, a lot of leverage. So you have to be careful what you get into. There are some hedge funds that are very conservative. They're only going to be 20% short, mostly long. Because the nice thing about occasionally, if I found an idea that I thought was overpriced, I just went on to the next thing. I couldn't short it. So there is an advantage to be able to short, but I found that long only.
Well, but with these hedge funds who get into mutual funds, I mean, they'll have to also live up under the rules that mutual funds live under. Do you think they will be successful? I mean,
well, I found the long.
They're obviously tracking some.
The hedge funds that have been on the long side have done the best. I mean, they may have a little bit by being short, but being right on the long side. Because obviously, if you're right, you can make. And I would say when I ran Magellan, I might have been right 6 times out of 10. But if I'm right, I make a double or triple occasionally, it offsets the times you lose 30 or 40%. In fact, you could be right a third of the time as long as you have a lot of good results. So that's, when you're short, you can only make 90%. When you're long, you can make tenfold or fivefold. So I think long is the way to be.
Optimistic.
Optimistic, yeah. Well, careful and optimistic.
And so when you look at the market today, it's a good time for
I think
investors to be there. I mean, obviously we're seeing new highs.
Right. I think the market is fairly priced on what's happening right now. You have to say to yourself, is 5 years from now, 10 years from now, corporate profits have grown about 7 or 8% a year. That means they double, including dividends, about every 10 years, quadruple every 20, go up eightfold every 40. So I think that's the kind of numbers you're interested in. That's better. A 10-year bond today is a little over 2%. So I think the stock market's the best place to be for the next 10, 20, 30 years. The next 2 years, no idea. I've never known what the next 2 years are going to bring.